In the year 1998, two friends meet with a common bond of devilish good looks and nerddom to epic levels.
Dun 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 dun.
With links to Dragon Ball Z, D&D, RPGs, and other stuff, their legend grew. But as time passed, Matt delved deeper into the depths of geekery, and Lou let go of his gamer past. And now they have reunited to spread the word of the whatever the word is.
The word! Oh, you can't see him, dude.
So this is our show. It's called We Used to Play. My name is Matt. This is Lou.
Hey.
And we played a lot of video games when we were teenagers, and now we're growing up, and we want to reminisce about them.
It's gonna be a very nostalgic kind of show.
Don't talk about it like that. Remember when we used to play games all night?
We used to play games like, I'm talking ridiculous stuff, like Ballerina to Shinden until like the break of dawn.
What's that? I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Are you
just
kidding me?
Just explain it to me. What was the game?
Wait,
no, really,
legitimately don't know. Are you serious? Okay.
I don't remember it.
There was I can't quite. The only character I remember was Sho, because that's who I used to be. Was it a fighting game? It was a fighting game. Yeah, it was actually what seemed like one of the first three-dimensional fighting games there actually was, and not like 3D like shitty looking. Can I say shitty?
Sure.
Okay. Shitty looking like Tekken, kind of like, you know, obscure virtual fighter crap.
Like all blocky.
Yeah, like all blocky, but you could actually move and manipulate like gravity and, you know, stuff like that. And it was just epic, dude.
Do you remember Bushido Blade?
Kind of, but not
really. Did you have health bars in Bushido?
You did, you did. Yeah, and you would combat, you know, you combat events.
I didn't like fighting games outside of rival schools.
Well, you know what? This was like way before. This was like one of the first like PlayStation games that was kind of like of that genre in my mind. And I remember I went to GameStop like what, you know, after.
Hey. my cats.
I remember going to GameStop and like picking up for like $5 or something, like just to buy and just to play it again because it was just so awesome.
Was GameStop around in 1998?
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't
called something.
It was something in the McDade
EB
Mall.
Games.
It was maybe some choppy little game shop. Or something.
If it was in that mall, it was probably illegally positioned there.
Well, that mall is like condemned.
Yeah, it's closed
really
now, so.
Crappy. It's scary too. Like when you look through like the Kmart, it's just like you swear zombies are gonna walk out of the darkness. Like it's really bizarre.
I remember one time we slept over at my house, and remember John?
Yeah.
And he came and he brought Xenogears because he was like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But we wanted to play something else, probably like Twisted Metal 2 or something. So I brought out like some old ass TV that was in my parents' like back room, and I hooked it up for him just to play Xenogears, and it was hilarious because he was playing and I was watching because I had been playing it pretty hardcore, so I like knew everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And he was asking me questions about Ellie, the character Ellie.
Right.
And I remember I was like, I don't know why you're using Ellie because she dies or she's not in it at the end. And he lost his you
had already played
his
the game
mind.
before. Oh, I got you.
He totally flipped out because he had been using Ellie the whole game. And then he was just, and you remember him.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he deserves a little trauma. Remember we used to squeal like pigs?
He did squeal a lot. He was a squealer.
Well, all I can say is that if the cops were to grill him, I don't think it would go well. He'd have to get whacked. It's obvious.
Alright, so I think the point of this show is we're gonna, wax nostalgic a little, and then we're gonna ask each other some questions about whatever topic we're talking about. So,
alright, well, our topic today is
video games.
Video games.
We've already been talking about video games.
Well, I know, but we got so out of the.
No, we were talking.
We're trying to get specific. Yeah, I get it, but we're trying to get specific.
Right, well, I'm going to ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
I came up with this question. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII on my PSP, because I love it. PS1 classics. I'm old. But my question is there anything you liked more than materia? Because I love materia. I wish I could fill, Scrooge McDuck's giant vault with materia.
And just jump right in.
And swim through it.
And somehow that works in the cartoon too, because usually in normal life you would obviously smash into that and die.
Well, it's materia though.
Materia's...
So what do you think? What do you think about materia?
I think it's great. Next question. Just kidding.
The content of this is horrible. It's terrible.
Well, you know what? The thing is...
you played other RPGs, right? With other magic systems and everything.
I did. And I think, and I'm not an expert of, referencing back to, earlier games. However, I'm actually a fan of it, but in some ways I'm not. Because, I really like a point system when it comes to magic and stuff like that. Okay, you increase a level and then you get to distribute points accordingly.
Okay.
And you can use that for whatever, to develop the character itself. But this was unique in the fact of was completely out of that spectrum.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Which was awesome, and I respect that for it being that awesome. And the different summons were great, the ability to manipulate the elements on armor or
was there any
weapons.
game that you can think of that the magic system you liked better? Or not even just the magic system, because materia had a lot to do with other things, like the way it would affect your character's stats and all that kind of stuff, but things you could do with battle system maybe, equipment system.
I don't think so off the top of my head.
Because you don't play enough games, that's why.
That's probably my problem.
Because you're a jerk. I mean, what else is there to say?
Obviously, that makes me a jerk. No, when I was referencing the point system thing, the bulk of the games I used to play, I think, were dictated on those notions. You know what I mean? You have a set character, and that character has innate abilities in which you can grow as you develop, you get more experience and the character grows. Whether it be a specific person I don't know, like Cloud, right? You could let's just take him for instance, you could level him up, or it would be like a class, like a warrior or a druid or something like Diablo-ish.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I think in the fact of that materia was universal and any character could use it was cool.
It didn't give you a lot of individualization for
that. That's what I agree.
Outside of limit breaks, it was like everyone's the same.
That's the thing is and I loved it and I loved the uniqueness of it, but it would have been cool, and granted it was way ahead of its time, but if maybe when somebody casts a spell, maybe it would look slightly different or a different perspective as opposed to everything looking kind of generic.
Yeah. I think things got even less individualized in Final Fantasy VIII when it came to magic and stuff. But then Final Fantasy IX was totally different. But you didn't play either of those games.
I didn't play that, no. I had to bail after PlayStation because it was just consuming too much of my life.
Yeah.
And
you told me that. That's a shame.
Well, I had things that I was trying to do, man.
Yeah. Alright, well let's move on to the next topic. Or the next question. You came up with a question for me, and I thought about it quite diligently.
Well,
ask.
This question, Matt, actually, it's funny. My father asked me this on his deathbed. And he said, son...
Are you serious?
He did. And he said, son, if you could fight any 8-bit boss, who would it be and why?
My first thought was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Any of those characters, because for me they were all like bosses.
Right.
There's not really any regular things you fight in Mike Tyson Punch-Out. You just fight each guy, and it's like
we're talking about a physical fight.
No, I know.
Matty. I mean,
no, I know.
Let's be real.
Well, I mean, who couldn't fight King Hippo, really?
I hear you, because
that's not my answer.
Okay.
Let me just go.
All right, fair enough.
So my favorite game when I was a kid playing Nintendo, and when I got older and had a PC and I used emulators,
right,
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh my god, dude.
It was my favorite game. I couldn't beat it when I was a kid because I was stupid. But when I got on the emulator, and you know on the emulators you could just hit a button and quick save. So then if it was screwed up, you could
cheated
just
like crazy.
quick load.
It was ridiculous.
But I loved, and I didn't love fighting the last guy because he was difficult. But that kind of mid-level random boss, it was that crazy weasel with the straight jacket.
You know what, dude?
I would love to fight.
You do like the charge up punch where you're doing that.
And he would always appear like when you first go into a building, that first screen with a building front, and you could go up the 2 steps into the doorway, and he couldn't hit you. So as long as you got momentum, doing that bouncing punch, you could just stay in there.
Right.
And when you
know what? That was also to prevent lollygagging. You know, they didn't like lollygagging back then.
Who? The weasels?
The weasels were very.
The weasels don't like
lollygagging. They were very anti-lollygagging. So
either him, or you know what? Even better.
Right.
Even more fun of a boss, I think, would be getting captured by the weasels and having to answer one of those silly riddles.
Oh man, they were retarded.
They were great though.
It was like, is that? I don't even feel like that was like part of the movie.
Well, how much of it was?
I mean, were more shtick than joke, is what I'm saying. In the movie,
it was an NES game geared towards younger people.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh,
why would it be some Mensa level riddle? I mean,
you know what? That was a problem with a lot of games, man. Sometimes they just like the movies out, like, all right, let's make a game. Done. I mean, that's how it works.
I guess.
But
what about you? Who would you fight?
I didn't prepare for this question. I didn't know. I didn't know it was going to be like reciprocal. I thought it was just going to be you.
You know what bosses I always like was fighting in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. My friend down the street would come over. We would play 2-player.
Yeah.
You had to fight Rocksteady and beat.
Oh, you're talking about like the arcade version one, or are you talking about?
The that's why I said arcade game.
Okay, I didn't hear
that. Anyway,
I'm kind of not really listening.
I love playing that. I played that. I probably played that more than any game.
You know what's funny is that I have another John reference. Is that I remember he taught me the code. Like, I had to, like, give him, like, a cheeseburger or something at the pool. Like, the pool we used to hang out with. Like, I was like, give me the code! He's like, I want a cheeseburger!
Code for what?
For the arcade one. It was, like, to get... to give you, like,
actual arcade?
Yeah, to get... Well, no, on the
NES?
NES, yeah. It gave you, like, 10 lives and you could stage select.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. I think it was, like... It was, like, pretty typical.
Snow level. Do you remember the snow level?
The snow level.
I love that. And the skateboarding level with the rocket boards.
That was pretty sweet.
Because you could, like, jump and jump kick.
Yeah,
and the rocket board would follow you.
Like, awesome rocket boards, dude. Who was your favorite character in that game?
In Turtles?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a turtle, obviously. My favorite turtle was always... I always went for Raphael or Leonardo because they had the weapons that could make someone bleed easily.
Well, I mean, it was either Donatello or Leonardo because they had, like, range weapons. You know, Raphael's, like, going like this.
Leonardo has swords. Okay.
No, like, range isn't, like, you can, like...
You're wearing a shirt. If you tell me that Raphael goes like this, because that's a nunchuck.
No. When he, like, if you look at the game, like, when he's, like, spinning it, and especially in the original Turtles game...
you're talking about the game?
Yeah. I'm not talking about it in real life. They don't exist, right?
Well, we're talking about the Turtles in general here.
Okay. Well, alright. In general, yeah. I mean, it's a lot different, but in the game, like, he just, like, goes like that.
How did Leonardo have a ranged weapon?
Like, ranged as in, like, distant weapon. Like, he can hit people from distances.
Yeah. You're right. Raphael did kind of have a short reach.
He did. And Michelangelo, well, he's a party dude.
Who really liked Michelangelo, let's be honest.
I guess the pizza guy.
He was the most annoying.
No, he was the fun guy, dude.
No, he was the most annoying. Not a big fan.
Well, that's because you don't like the party. And he was a party dude.
I like to sit in a dark room, play games. Actually, my thing now is I put Doctor Who on Netflix and I play Final Fantasy stuff. I'll do like 3 to 7 hours of that.
Do you like wake up in a pile of your own feces?
You're
like,
a huge Mega Man fan.
A huge fan, yeah.
So isn't that someone you would fight because then you could take their power? Scissor Man?
Yep.
Then you'd have scissors on your head. You would have to have those scissors on your head.
Yeah, only if I chose to use that ability at that time.
But anytime you want to use scissor ability, you'll have the scissors on your head.
Yeah, but that's fine, dude. Like, if you have scissors on your head, what, someone's gonna make fun of you? Like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna shoot some scissors at you.
Then you'll get arrested.
No, but you don't, it doesn't work like that. There's no police in Mega Man Land.
So, in Mega Man Land, everyone has just energy bars. And they just explode into balls of energy when they die.
That's pretty much how the world... I mean, I believe Einstein said we're all made of energy.
Alright, don't quote scientists and shit. Come on.
Well, I mean, he quoted that when he was playing Mega
You don't quote people like that. So who's your favorite Mega Man boss?
Well, no, I was just talking about, like, Dr. Wily in general.
Okay.
Like, because he seemed like an old, frail man that was just, like, always making these robots somehow. Like, I guess he was independently wealthy, where he could just keep doing this. But, like, I feel like I could probably take him out with one punch.
Is Dr. Wily a boss?
He's, like, the end boss, dude. He's, but they changed it in different games, like...
I thought Dr. Wily created Mega Man.
No, Dr. Wily... No, it was, like, who was the guy that created Mega Man?
I thought it was Dr. Wily.
No, Dr. Wily was, like, the... Because you always, like, go up, like, to the map, and it's, like, W, you know, like... And then there was Zero, who became, like, dude, when it came on Super Nintendo, when they started doing, like, the Mega Man X stuff, that was so cool, because, like, you could, like, especially Zero, like, jumping on the walls and stuff and, like, coming off it. It was very reminiscent of, like, Vega out of Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah, you're a big Vega guy.
No, I wasn't a big Vega guy, but then when they would do that thing where he would, like, jump up in the air and be like, and then he would, like, attack you.
He would, on his own level, he would climb on the cage, like, on that chain link fence.
Oh, yeah, dude.
What a bastard.
And you had to, like, move around, because you stay in one spot, you're like, Vega.
What a jerk.
Well, that was his level, dude.
And he did that stupid move where he would, like, roll 3 times, then come up, like...
Yeah.
Doesn't that hurt?
I love the fact that you could, like, progressively punch his face off.
Oh, yeah, the mask.
Yeah, and then you see the mask, and he's, like, all bloody.
Yeah. And when you beat him, like, his claws, like...
Yeah, right, because apparently, like, when metal claws punch your face or whatever, they'll just bend because you're that strong.
Well, if you defeat him, then...
If you defeat him, yeah.
I guess it's assumed that if you defeat him and he's on the ground, you go up to his claws and, like, stomp on him. Like, I beat you. These claws are mine.
That's fine, but, like, there's certain things that are just so ridiculous in video games. Like, obviously, if I'm gonna fight with someone who has, like, razor claws and he's punched me, I'm pretty sure I'm not getting up.
I know. Well, I'm not gonna be able to block like this.
Yeah. It's just like he cuts your arms off and then that's it. Like, what else are you gonna do? But yeah, I loved almost every Mega Man game, and I know they were all repetitious, especially like, you know, all the Nintendo ones and
just
even
like
some of the
Mario.
Super Nintendo ones.
I mean, Mario's.
But it was just like, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the genre. I even liked the one, I think was what was it, the PlayStation one that they did? That was a 3-dimensional game. It was like Mega Man Legends or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it was like an RPG-ish kind of.
It was cool, man, because it was it wasn't like
person.
a terrific game, and I think like maybe they developed it more for kids and stuff.
Or more for Japan, because Japanese people love everything.
Maybe that's true, but like it just had a cool feel, man. Like I remember like you could like switch the arm and like you could like blow a bunch of stuff, and then you could put the vacuum arm on, and you could just like suck up all your goodies.
I remember Chris's brother playing that in their basement. I remember watching him play it for a while. It was so neat.
I can't believe, and you know, if we can ever find this out, like, you know, when we die or whatever, like how much time we waste on certain things. Like watching someone else play video games.
Yeah.
Like, was a huge chunk of our childhood.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And it's like...
I remember
this
watching
was like
John play Silent Hill a lot.
You know what?
Watching.
I remember playing
the
whatchamacallit, the demo version of Silent Hill.
Yeah.
And be like, this shit's it's freaking me out, man.
Oh,
Is that like a little alien? What
scary.
the hell was that thing?
Oh, yeah. That was scary. That was scary.
That was what was that one game? Nightmare Creatures?
I don't know.
Do you remember that? That was like also a 3-dimensional-ish kind of game. But it was basically, you were like this like kind of monkish guy, or you could be like the sexy girl, and you would go and like
you always
fight.
pick the sexy girl, right?
Well, the monk guy was like kind of like.
I think I've always picked girls.
I've always been a fan of a stronger character over a more agile character.
Really?
Yeah, always, 100%. Like even when I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, I would always like prefer.
You were a ranger, dude. They're agile.
They're agile, but they also have the warrior aspect.
Well, you see, you always pick the ranger, and you were like dual class kind of. Rangers was kind of. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, that's for another show.
We're gonna talk about D&D some other time, but no, yeah.
But,
you know what? That's funny. It's like knowing how many hours we spent. Like this playthrough I've done with Final Fantasy VII. One of the things that they don't have is a battle meter, and you can get it in other games and in future Final Fantasies and stuff. And I love the idea of a battle meter because you can see all your stats and stuff. And you can't see that in Final Fantasy VII unless you go to that sleeping guy where you get Aerith's final limit break. Anyway, that would be like hilarious to see that of like. Just like be able to press the air and pull up your battle meter, like
that would be pretty cool, man.
Hours playing video games. Rival schools, that was like the most Japanese game.
Was the version we had was it even the American version or was it the Japanese version?
It was American.
Was it?
There's still even in the American version was still a lot of Japanese stuff.
Oh yeah.
And everyone was Japanese except the 3 from the American school.
Right.
Wasn't that hilarious? It was
that
like a blonde, giant boobed cheerleader.
Right.
A blonde, buff football player.
Right.
And a giant black guy with a mohawk who was also like a priest and had like the same moves as Balrog. Like, this is what Japan thinks of America in 1998. Like,
I mean, that was the extent of the country back then. Things have really changed. I mean, we're more ethnic. I mean, it's evolved, really.
I hated that school. I thought they were the crappiest. Of course, I only ever used Hinata, so...
Well, I was the old man, and I don't want to brag, but I obviously dominated with the old man, as you remember.
I remember.
And
I beat you once.
No,
I remember beating you once.
I think I might have had the flu that day.
You didn't, and I beat you once.
My hands were broken.
You can't
I was playing with my
You can't just concede one win, one loss to me.
Never. My total domination with the old man was it was infinite. It was
I don't think any of our other friends liked that game as much.
I think Rob was into it a little bit, but maybe George. I don't know, but it was definitely that was our thing that we had. Dude, I had
Wait a second. Do you remember playing all those trainings and trying to get 100%? And there was there was one that was impossible to get an A on, A++.
What was like the I can't remember, what was the outcome of getting those? Like, did he get something? Did it unlock characters?
No, we had all the characters unlocked. I don't remember what it did. That was like
just more for pride.
It was like the only thing in that game that we hadn't done. We played those trainings for hours.
Oh my god, dude!
It was impossible. That one was impossible because you had to do the tardy counter, slide around, dodge, and you had to get an A++. You had to do it on his very first attack, and it was like ready, start attack, and you're like, yeah. It was horrible. Oh my god! It
really was quite challenging, as they said.
And we never did it.
I'm pretty sure I did.
So you didn't.
I don't think you understand how much I dominated with the old man.
You're a dick.
Gotta end awesome. We don't have a fight scene.
We won't. We're not having fight scenes.
Well, this is the end of our show. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed us waxing nostalgic for you.
That's not the name of the show, though.
But it's not.
Called We Used to Play.
Yes. However, we will be waxing nostalgic. I don't know if I said that. No, I didn't like that either.
Oh my god. Give a thumbs up or something.
Wait, do that again. Do that again.
What?
What you just said.
Come back next time.
Well, what? Go. I was saying go so you would know. Like when they
Come back next time.
Okay, wait, no, I'm going. Go. Thanks for watching us, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show and me and Matt bantering back and forth.
come back next time. We're going to talk about nerdy movies, and I'm hopefully going to teach Lou how to be a nerd again.
And I look forward to his nerdy teachings.
Now talk about bad.
The word! Oh, you can't see him do that.